Evening, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting to order, the Plain Township Board of Zoning Appeals for March 6, 2019. The first item on the agenda is to introduce the members of the board. My name is Bob Souls. I am the chairman. Down this way is Jeff Sutton. Next to me is Demetrius Pousselides, who's the secretary. Tim Reichel is not with us tonight. He's the vice chairman. And we have also Richard Beck and Tia Cernova. Did I get it right?
You did.
Okay, she's our newest member, but she's an alternate, and also Tom Ferrara is our zoning director. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the agenda this evening? Are there any changes to the agenda? If none, it'll stand as presented. We do have a statement of duties for the Board of Zoning Appeals. I believe copies are provided at the back that you can read at your own leisure that provide essentially the duties and the responsibilities of the board. I'd like to have a motion to approve the minutes from our January 2nd, 2019 and our February 20th, 2019 meetings.
And I'll make this motion. I think we already approved the January 2nd minutes, but I think that the reason that's there, and correct me if I'm not wrong, is that because we just had our meeting in February, and I think we did approve the January 2nd minutes, but the transcript was not part of that. So I think the first motion, I'll make the motion that the transcript that's now been provided from the January 2nd, 2019 meeting be incorporated in the January 2nd, 2019 minutes that we passed at the last meeting.
Do I hear a second on that?
Second.
Roll call vote?
Ms. Cernova?
Yes.
Mr. Sutton?
Yes.
Mr. Beck?
Yes.
Mr. Pousselides?
Abstain.
Mr. Reichel is not here. And Mr. Souls?
Yes.
Okay, I'll now make a motion that we approve the minutes for the February 20th, 2019 meeting.
Second.
Second by Mr. Beck. Roll call vote, please.
Ms. Cernova?
Yes.
Mr. Sutton?
Yes.
Mr. Beck?
Yes.
Mr. Pousselides?
Yes.
Mr. Souls?
Yes. All right, gets that out of the equation. All right, we have no unfinished business, and we do have new business this evening, which is appeal number 1278-19. And this is applicant and owner Renee Jones Showalter, is that correct? 3171 Cloverhurst Street, Northeast Canton, Ohio, and Grant Giltz of 4835 Munson Avenue. The applicant is requesting a conditional use permit for a daycare for children 6 weeks to 12 years of age on the property located at 2674 Easton Street, and that is parcel number 1001024. Okay. We do have some, before we get to that appeal, we have some comments from the Plain Township Fire Department, Scott Kelly, Inspector. With respect to appeal number 1278-19, there are no recommendations or suggestions regarding this appeal. Anyone wishing to speak this evening, I would please ask, please stand and raise your right hand if you intend to speak at all this evening.
I mean, that's a have to.
You swear or affirm that the information you're about to present is true and accurate to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so let's move on to appeal number 1278-19, Renee Jones Showalter. If you could please come forward, ma'am. And basically, if you could just state the basis for your appeal and explain why you would like the board to grant you a conditional use permit to operate the daycare facility.
My name is Renee Jones Showalter. I
And your address too, I'm sorry, ma'am.
3171 Cloverhurst Street, Northeast, Canton, Ohio, 44721.
Okay.
I applied for to start a daycare up here is because it's a good area, and I have one in my home, and it's busting out. I need to expand, and I figured if I do it here, it's a lot of businesses and everything. It might be good for the community, so I decided to try it.
Okay. Anything further right now, ma'am?
No, I hope I get it.
Okay. Is there anyone else who would like to speak in favor of this appeal? Seeing no one? Oh, you wouldn't? Okay. Okay, you please come forward. I would ask you to please raise your right hand, ma'am, because I don't believe you were sworn in previously. Do you swear or affirm the information about to present is true and accurate to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes.
And could you state your name and address?
Donna Cutts and my.
Do you want to spell that probably?
DEVONACUTTS. And my address is 3416 34th Street, Northeast, Canton, Ohio, 44701.
Okay.
I currently help, that's my mom, my name's my mom. I currently help her with the daycare. With the daycare, it would be great for the community. She does very well with the kids. She's implementing programs to help them get kindergarten ready. So it would definitely help out with a lot, with the parents. It's easy access to it, I feel, in this area, that each parent will be close to getting their kids without the whole hustle and bustle. And I just think it would just be a great opportunity for the community.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else want to speak in favor of this appeal? Okay, seeing none. Anyone want to speak in opposition to this appeal? Okay. Seeing or hearing no one, questions from the board? Please come forward, ma'am. I'm sure we will have some questions. I do have a few. You indicate that you are currently operating out of your home,
Yes,
and how many children do you currently have now?
altogether 23.
23, wow, that's quite a few. So is the plan to obviously bring the 23 to this location?
Yes.
And then how many would you be able to have at
I
this location?
believe from my, it's 37 a shift at one time, 37
Is that what the state mandates, or is that based upon the size of the facility?
of the size of the facility. I will also, I'll be able to have 37 at a time, and then like, I will also have like an open daycare where like people want to work out at the fitness center or go to dinner, they can make reservations online where they could bring their children for a couple hours a day, whatever.
What's the status of your like approvals, licenses through the state and all that? How does that work?
I am licensed through the state of Ohio. I've been with I had the daycare for 3 years. They will come out once I get approved and we get started. They'll be out and they'll do routine checks, and I have to do everything through the state, put a curriculum in, and everything is through the state.
Okay. The, I see on the drawing there's a fenced-in playground. Will that all, I'm assuming, be done before you move in there?
Would depend on the builders, on the guys.
The
Yes.
landlord?
Uh-huh,
Mhm.
yeah, but we will have it.
Do you know what the size of that is, or is there a, I guess my
It's
question is,
2016.
the square footage of the exterior playground area?
Oh, no, I don't know the size
Oh.
of that.
And do you know the type of fence or anything that's going to be placed around there?
No, I don't.
I mean, is it,
I know we'll put down the mulch and everything you have to have down before it can play. It'll have to be state approved.
that's all the questions I have right now.
Do you know the current business that, or the last business that was there prior to you?
No,
That whole section is empty right now.
Do you know who was there before?
No, I don't
It's been a
remember.
while.
It's been a long time. They've totally revamped those buildings. One of the reasons they're going into that particular spot is it's the access to the fire sprinklers. They will need fire sprinklers in the business, and it's already set up next door, so it's easy to bring them over.
Do you know, is there a lot of traffic in the rear of this where you're having the fenced-in playground?
It will be, access, the trucks will be able to come back that way, but the way they have the fence off, my kids won't be, bothered.
So when you say trucks, delivery trucks, or what are they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be, yeah, delivery trucks and.
What discussions have you had with the landlord about protecting the children from that truck traffic? I mean, I know they're driving back there, I'm just trying to, you know, I envision the worst sometimes, like if a truck's coming back through there and you've got a fence. I mean, what type of fence, how are we gonna protect the kids a little bit?
Well, we don't have, I don't know what kind of fence, but it will be fenced in, and then we'll always be out with our children. They won't be left alone. At all times, they'll have supervision.
I assume that whatever fence that you're going to have, that the state has
Yeah,
certain
it'll be-
requirements,
Yeah, it'll be stable.
and you're gonna meet those requirements. And do you know what, just so we can have it on the record, what division of the state that we're talking about? What's the departments that you're dealing with for your compliance for regulations such as building that fenced-in playground?
It would, we're going through the child and, what is it?
Family Services too.
Yeah, Jobs and Family Services.
So the Department of Jobs and Family Services has certain guidelines for fenced-in
Mhm.
playgrounds, yes?
Yes, they have to approve it,
And you're gonna follow whatever they say is
Yes.
required?
yes.
And I assume they do inspections?
Yes,
And I assume you intend to pass those
yes,
inspections?
I do. They inspect just like they would the inside, they inspect outside.
And your people will be coming through the front door though, right?
Yes.
They're not coming in the back.
We can go out the back,
I get that, but when the people come to drop the kids off,
right, the
they'll
front,
come-
the front door,
and they're gonna be parking in the front.
yes.
The intent is not to have entrance in the back.
No, none. They have to come in, sign in, and everything to the front.
Mr. Giltz did not, was he supposed to be here this evening?
He did not say he would be here.
I mean, my only hesitation that when I look at this is the fenced-in playground, which is fine. I'm assuming it'll meet all state requirements for a fenced-in playground, but when you have this truck traffic that comes back there, I'm just trying to envision what other parameters could be put in that area to better protect the children or advise truck traffic that they're, you know, that it's a fenced-in or a playground, other than visually seeing it. Whether that be permanent orange cones or something,
Yeah,
I
we'll
don't,
have signs, children
know,
that play,
just-
and different signs. we can put.
Pardon?
We can have signs like children that play, you know, children, we can put the orange, cones or whatever.
What is what's your timing on, you wanna do this?
As soon as I can.
As soon as you get approved, do you want them to start building?
They're waiting now.
Who's waiting?
The,
Probably the landlord.
Yeah, the landlord said,
I thought you, I don't, or have you signed a lease yet?
yes.
And it's subject to approval by this, I'm assuming.
Mhm.
Would you move forward without the playground? If the state has safety concerns?
Well, if I have to, then we could, I can just take them out, you know. We can go to the park or wherever we have to go. But,
Is that playground a requirement? Does the state require an outdoor area?
there's been daycares that haven't had, a playground out, you know, area. But as long as they go out for air or whatever, but if I have to, then I guess I'll take them to court.
Well, what's the, when you say if you have to take them to a park, is there a requirement, like in the state requirements that you have to have an outdoor play area?
Well, yeah, they need to go out for, you know, run around, do air.
Okay, I don't know what the requirements are, so I was just curious what that was.
Does the state know that you're gonna be putting in this fenced-in playground?
Mm-hmm.
What have you told them?
So I was gonna put in the fence in. They, when I told them, they said they have to check it out like anything else. They'll come through, check out my building, check out the outside, make sure it's approved.
They haven't done that yet.
No,
Do you submit any plans to them ahead of time, or like that they look at it to approve it, versus you like going over there and them coming in and saying, oh, this isn't any good? How does that work with them?
that's how I do it. I have to get it ready and they'll come in.
They'll come in and do that?
Mhm.
I assume that whatever the state is looking at, that safety is one of the factors, yes?
Yes,
So if the state comes in and says, this just is not going to be safe enough for the kids, then they make that final determination. Am I right on that?
yes. Well, but the one guy that's working with us, he goes around, that's what he do, set up daycares and the playgrounds, everything, that's what he does.
Who's this guy?
What's his name, I forgot his name at home. I think, let me see, I have to find his name. He's one of the guys that's with the builders.
Who's your builder?
Hold on, find his name. Dale, I can't think of his last name.
Dale is the builder for the development. He sets up each one of the businesses and rebuilds them the way they want them. So he's kind of the general contractor for the guild.
Okay.
But this, you said there's somebody else that's.
He has a guy to work with him, and that's what he does, is set up all the daycares.
So this, whoever the general contractor is for the owner of the building has a guy who does work with daycares, and he is familiar with setting up daycares, correct?
Correct.
And also, he is also familiar with the rules and
The
regulations
guidelines
of
and everything.
the state
Yes.
to build a fenced-in playground, right? Yes?
Yes,
And that, based on your conversations with this person, he seems confident that a fenced-in playground will be passed by the state at your location.
right.
But again, for our concerns, if we're concerned about the safety of the kids, the state is going to be looking at that, correct?
Correct.
And they're not going to allow you to put in a fenced-in playground if they do not feel that it's
That's
safe.
not safe.
Is that your understanding?
Yes, sir.
Is that good enough?
Dale Honifer?
Yeah, Bill Hamilton.
I mean, my only concern is still wondering whether we should have the contractor or guilt here to address that issue, because I don't know whether a cement barricade would be better there or something. I don't know, maybe I'm being overly protective, but I think that's part of our responsibility is to provide, if we're gonna issue a conditional use certificate, that we are permitted to put some conditions on that. Without knowing a little bit about what the fence structure is.
Well, can I have him call you?
Well, no, unfortunately, we would have to have them appear before our board. So we can table this appeal until next, was it next month?
Yes.
But that's just, pardon?
April 3rd.
So we want to consider tabling the appeal so that the applicant can bring the owner or the owner's contractor or somebody with authority to tell us the type of or the type of fence that's going to be put up, or whatever you wanna call it, barricade that's gonna be put up to make sure that kids are okay.
That's my concern. Right now, I don't know of any. I mean, other than you saying there's gonna be a fence, but I don't know whether that's a 2 foot tall, 3 foot tall, 4 foot. Is it a chain link fence? Is it a wood fence? What is it? And with the, you know, in a certain situation where we didn't have the truck traffic going back and forth there, I wouldn't be as concerned, because if you're saying it's just a yard, that's fine. But my concern is with the vehicles as well as truck traffic traveling the back of this shopping center. It only takes one mistake for someone to not pay attention and, you know, go across some fence or something. So I would feel better to hear personally, from someone with your contractor.
Okay, so I have a question. If, we don't put the playground, could I still do the daycare?
If you withdrew the request for having a playground in there, I personally don't have a problem with the approval of the daycare center. I'm not saying that I wouldn't necessarily agree to have a playground at some point, but I would need to hear from
That's all I was
someone
going to ask
first.
you. If they come back later with some good, information, could we address it later to have the playground?
I mean, I suppose she can come back and amend it.
We're already meeting April 3rd.
Well, I think what Bob's saying is we could vote on the conditional use permit
Without a
minus
fenced-in
the
playground.
fenced-in playground, approve it, and then if she wants to come back later to put a playground, there's a mechanism for her to do that.
Right.
Nothing.
So are you saying that you're willing to withdraw your request for a fenced-in playground?
Yeah, for right now, yeah.
Okay. Any other questions from anyone on the board? Okay. You can sit down, ma'am. Thank you. The chair will entertain a motion on this.
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman, whereas applicant owner Renee Jones Showalter, 3171 Cloverhurst Street, Northeast, Canton, Ohio, 44721, Grant Hills, 4835 Munson Avenue, Canton, Ohio, 44718. Applicant is requesting a conditional use permit for a daycare for children 6 weeks to 12 years of age on the property located at 2674 Easton Street, Northeast, Canton, Ohio, 44721, parcel number 100102224. Now, herefore be it hereby resolved by the Plain Township Board of Zoning Appeals to grant the following a conditional use permit for a daycare for children 6 weeks to 12 years of age at the property located at 2674 Easton Street, Northeast Canton, Ohio, 44721, conditioned that there will not be a built-in playground.
They're built-in outdoor playground.
Outdoor fenced-in playground.
There's a second on the motion.
I'll second that.
Okay, discussion? I would say I'm in favor of, you know, I believe everything you've testified to establishes that, you know, you should be entitled to the conditional use permit for the child daycare. I think, you know, the plans look really nice, and it sounds like you've done a nice job. You could do a nice job in operating this, and it's probably an area where we do need a child daycare center. My concern still lies with the outdoor, not knowing enough yet about the outdoor fenced-in playground. So, with you having withdrawn that, I would be in favor of the appeal. Any further discussion at all? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Nava?
Yes.
Sir. I did it again. Mr. Sutton?
Yes.
Mr. Beck?
Yes.
Mr. Pusalides?
Yes.
Mr. Schultz?
Yes. Okay,
Okay,
we
thank
can
you.
move forward with that.
Give me a call tomorrow if you would,
Okay,
and then we'll talk about how we proceed.
okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you, ma'am.
Have a good day.
Anything else, any other announcements? Nothing?
No other.
Motion.
Well, the meeting,
Oh, there's a meeting April 3rd.
Okay.
all right.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right. What's that?
Do you need this written up or not yet?